But before we get into the rest of the meeting, normally we do the guest speakers towards the end, but one of our guests, current Board of Education member, Chao Wu, also candidate currently for Maryland State Delegate in District 9A, which now includes parts of Montgomery County instead of Carroll County. So it's been redistricted to be more winnable for a Democrat. It's currently Republican-held district, has been for a long time, but it almost went Democratic in 2018. And again, with the new redistricting, it's even more vulnerable to a Democrat. So Chao Wu, he has to leave at about 7:30, so we're just gonna hear from him at the beginning of the meeting. Chao, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you for Progressive Howard County Democrats inviting me here. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me?
Yep. Sounds
okay.
Good.
So I just look through the audience. I know many of you, like Drew, I know you before I was on CA board. Claudio, I see you before, right? And Harry Dumbler, you're slow growth Dumbler, right? Hadigu, we met many times before. Joanne, congratulations on your new round. And Joe, I've been talking with you when I was on CA board. It's been a while. Karen, I think we went on the same campus, same day. Our first, I love that. And we did something good. And Kiana, met you. And Marcy, I met you a long time ago. Thanks for joining us. Megan, the same. I met you, I think the first time at Joanne's kickoff party or planning meeting. So it's great to see all of you coming back here. And it's my honor to be here. So for me, some may know me, some may not. I just want to give a short introduction of my background. I came to the United States in 2003 and pursued my PhD in electrical and computer engineering at the University of Maryland. So after several years, I graduated, then I worked in Montgomery County. I lived in Montgomery County. After I got a kid, I was looking for a new house. So I just moved to Howard County because I feel Howard County was more well organized and the planning much better. You got a lot of trails and the traffic was much better. So I just moved in Howard County. Then I loved Howard County. This had been my new home for the last 12 years. So when I moved to Howard County, I began to serve the community. So first I served on the River Hill Village Association. Then when Mike Cornell resigned from CA board, so I began to join the Columbia Association board. On CA board, I did a few things, right? So I think as a board member, we really try to connect with other part of the world. We created the first sister city with a Chinese city called Liyang, China. We built a big major sister city across the world for Colombia. So we signed our Paris Climate Code. So that's one of the biggest city government. We even not a government, HOA organization, we signed that. And we promote the green energy initiative. We try to bring more green energy to the CA, and we try to improve the energy efficiency across all the buildings CA owned or running. Then I've been advocating for better APFO, and then we are advocating better affordable housing, not just in Columbia, but the whole Howard County. I've been always on the front line to think about how we can make Columbia better when I was on CA board. So in 2018, there are so many openings on the Board of Education. I began to run this Board of Education, and then I won a seat with a 4-year term. Since 2018, I've been working with the communities and with a lot of stakeholders. I think we achieved a lot and overcome a lot of difficulties we're facing. And we, for example, we remedied a multi-year budget shortfall. I think the first year on the school board, we got a $10 million budget shortfall. So how do we do that? I even recommended, say, change our room temperature to save some money. Because if we change the room temperature, decrease 1 degree in summer, and decrease 1 degree in winter, both 1 degree, but one's up, one's down, right? It can save us more than $1 million in the whole school system. So we have been advocating better APFO control because it's important. Everybody, but probably right now, know our school system is overcrowded. If we are not able to manage our growth, we will get our schools crowded and crowded. We're using more portable. We have no money for maintenance, right? That's a problem for us. And we constructed and renovated 3 schools over the last several years. And we really put our goal there and execute that goal very precisely. We eliminated more than $50 million healthcare fund deficit. I think that's a big deal, even in front of our plan. We really put the plan there and execute that plan. I think in the middle of some discussion, we faced some budget shortfall. We said, okay, maybe we don't care about that. I think I really convinced other board members to go through that. We eliminated that $50 million. And we support and uphold our school safety and really maintain a safe operation in all the year. Even sometimes there's some problem, but in general, I think we maintain a good safety for all school system. We actually advocate for more schools, like one elementary school in Turf Valley. We purchased land just recently, and we're advocating for another school in Elk Ridge because people from Elk Ridge understand the dilemma and the challenge there. They don't have high school there, but we're now working with the county government to get a land there, a reserve land for high school in Elk Ridge. I think COVID definitely has been the largest challenge for the whole world, right? Not just for us. We work really hard to figure out what's the best plan to run the school and move the school forward. I think right now we probably can see we're actually moving forward in that direction. We arrange greater support for reading proficiency and dyslexia education, and we continue to support our special education. At the same time, we really try to expand high school career academy, not just say our students not just only go to college, but they are career ready. If they want to go to career after graduation, they will be able to find a job and support themselves. The other achievement I would say, we improved our high school graduation rate to 94%, which is the highest in the whole Maryland, right? It's 10 years high since 2011 for Howard County public school system. And I think some other part, we really reformed our board operating procedure. We make our board operating more productive, more efficient. And even at the beginning of that reform, some board members don't like it. But eventually, I think we adapt this new board operating norm. We really love that. For me to running for state delegate, because I want to do something at the state level for Howard County. I think the first one is really improve our education system. Everybody knows Howard County is facing a financial struggle in the school system because the money was not there. Our student population growth outgrows the budget increase. So we need to make sure the state provides that sustainable and comparable, equitable funding for our school system. Right now, the student funding formula does not consider the student population growth. We need to reform that formula to reflect that, and then we can get more money each year, probably $5 to $10 million. And we need to build a better infrastructure. So every day when we go to highway, right? Either 95, 495, or 29, we see the problem. We don't know when we're gonna traffic. And I think we need to better plan that, do something. Given the last 20 years, I have not seen any big improvement on 29 and 495 or 95. I think we need to do something better. The other part I would say, community safety and the public health should be something we really care about. Make sure everybody feels safe in the community and they have to take care of themselves. When they need healthcare, they need to have the healthcare available. And I think the other part, because of recently Supreme Court decision, we need to make sure we protect women's health and women's choice. That's something from the state level we can do, and we definitely should do that. Even not only for Maryland, we can help other states, neighboring states as well. That's something that definitely will work hard to make sure we provide that support for women. That's all what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Did anybody have any questions for Chao Wu?
I'd like to say bravo. That was a great talk, Chao.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear all the stuff, because I associate you, as with the school system and the school board, but you've got a really nice agenda for things that are not school related. So, good job.
Thank you, Drew. I think, we had a coffee together, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, right? Long time ago. I still remember that. But you guys deserve a high school in Anchorage, right? So let's say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're working on that goal.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's something that you'll be able to continue to support as a state delegate.
Sure.
Yeah, Hira, you had something?
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Chao, that was a great presentation. I definitely support your campaign. I was impressed. I've been impressed by your focus on on the data and just pragmatic approach at the Board of Education. So I hope that you get elected there for state delegate. You mentioned the recommendation to raise the room temperature in schools, to save on energy, and it's that kind of sort of practical thinking that I think we need. And related to that, I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I hope nobody else in Howard County is talking about this. No state level candidate is talking about this. So I hope you're the one to push the issue of nuclear power at the state level. For I'm as someone who's worried about
Still hot out there.
climate change. We're not going to reach our goals without nuclear, and we need someone who is data driven, who after looking at the issue sort of pushes and a well-rounded solution that includes nuclear, solar, and wind, which I think is a more practical approach, because we're not nearly near our statutory goals at the state, when it comes to the renewable energy standards.
Thank you, Hiri. I agree with you. I think nuclear energy should be part of our equation to address the climate change issue, right? Without that part, I don't think solar or wind can address the issue. I think when I was on CA board, right, I definitely see the problem. And that's the reason for the board, we signed Paris Climate Accord, right? I think no other big corporation even signed that at that time. Even our county government didn't sign that. I think the other point I forget to mention, when I was on CA board, actually, I supported, we really pay a living wage for our employees. That's one of the big major initiatives there, because at that time, nobody even talk about a $15 minimum wage, right? So I think it's reasonable if the company or association or anything can well support that livable wage. We should do that. I think living wage is something, when I was on CA board, I supported. I'm proud of that as well.
Cool, thank you. Was there any other questions for Chao before he goes? Yeah, Joel.
All right, I turned off TV. Hi, Chao.
Hey, Joe, nice to see you again.
All right, two-part question, I guess. So technically, the school board's a state agency, but a lot of the local legislation from our delegation seems to deal with the school board. And also deals with a lot of the school surcharge. Howard County has less control over that than even many non-charter a delegation telling you all what to do. And if you're elected, how do you feel about micromanaging the school board in the county from Annapolis?
I think that, Joe, that's a great, I would say, observation, right? I don't think the state delegate should kind of tell the school board how to run the school system, right? Otherwise, they can, they can run a school board member, right? It's really, we need to provide support for our school system. So number one support is funding, right? So if they don't give out funding, they said, oh, well, I want to build a school here. I want a less crowded school. I want more support our students. I want to pay teachers well. We don't generate money. We don't generate revenue, right? We are getting money from state and the county. If we don't have that money, it's just a talk, right? We have a lot of talk. We really need to make sure, for example, for the surcharge, right? And you probably know, I think a lot of people here know, we are charging probably 1/8 of what Montgomery County is charging. I think the concern for a lot of advocates say, if we charge too more and the developer will not come to Howard County to develop houses, I don't believe that. I think for government, it's really, you need to provide the clear regulations, clear laws, and the business will find a way to make money and provide that support for their company and for the community. Sometimes I think we lose sight because the company does not have a same route as the local people. We live here, we probably die here. But the company, they move their headquarters around, they move their employee around, right? They don't have that deep of, I would say, deep love of the residents, of the parents. I think we should have a clear cut between the business and the government, right? The government is supporting business, but the government shouldn't be dedicated by the business. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on mute. Joel, did you ask both parts of your questions or did you just ask the one part?
Well, he sort of answered some of it, I guess. Would you like to micromanage the county as well? Like the delegation, I've been disappointed how many of them used to be on the county council and they still often act like they're on the county council with some of their legislation. And I said, Howard County as a charter county is the worst off charter county, I think, in the state in the amount of authority we have, particularly dealing with some of the taxing provisions.
Okay, I don't know which are the worst county, right? So I need to learn more. Let's say that. I know a few issues, but I don't have, because when we're on a CA board, right? That's the issue different from a school board, right? I think for me, I kind of know a lot of issues.
Chao, I accidentally muted you. I meant to mute myself. My bad. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. I just say, when I was on CA board and I was on like school board, the issue quite different, right? There's some common problem. It's really funding issue, how to manage the school system, how to manage our infrastructure, right? And I think there should be a better way to handle what we have now. And right now, I think many citizens are worried about we're not providing sufficient, enough, or efficient infrastructure to support our residents. That's a major concern for a lot of people.
Yeah, and Joel, to my sort of answer to that is like, I also share your concerns about some of our state delegates or state senators putting in local delegation bills that just affect our county basically, and they're not acting in the best interest of the county. They're acting in the best interest of their donors, most often developer interest donors, and so that's why I actually think it's important to have people like Chao also in the state delegation to sort of be a counter to those people, because even when they introduce those bills, they still need to get it passed through vote by the county state delegation. So I'm hoping Chao in our state delegation, if elected, will be a strong voice for the residents of the community, whether that is on statewide bills or just local delegation bills. Yeah, I guess the very last thing I'll say if you want to touch on this, and then also, you know, say, you know, how we can support you, and then, you know, go pick up your kids, of course. But I'm curious, I guess, why, I have to assume, I guess you probably live in District 5. So I'm curious, you know, why you decided to go for state delegate rather than either running for reelection for Board of Ed or for running for county council in District 5.
Thank you. I was actually in District 4, so
Okay.
it's just beside District 4 and District 5. I think it's really what I'm seeing. A lot of stuff we can do from local level. I think that, for example, the funding formula, and we're not able to do it from the county level, right? And if we were not really address that problem, that it will become a deficit year after year after year, because our county grows the second highest in the whole Maryland. If the funding formula didn't consider the growth, each year we're short of $10 million. That's a big problem for us, right? We're keeping catch up, then we'll never catch up, right? That's a problem for us. I think then I know education very well through this 4 years training. I would say it's at first the big learning, but after that, I think I really learn every aspect of the school system, what we're going to do, what we can do, what we need to do. I think I want to bring that fresh knowledge to the state legislation to make sure we'll be able to do something together with our delegation. And that's something I'm pretty passionate about. And I think we can do much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, Chao. We are wishing you the best of luck. We've been, you know, handing out your campaign literature at all the Joan Pontius canvases, and we will continue to do so. You know, please let us know, you know, the best way that, you know, we can be useful for your campaign. We really are wishing you the best of luck.
Sure. Thank you very much. I will join back probably after 8. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Yep, take care.